Okay, so what we're doing now, this is my boy Butterbean's snowflake eel.
Yeah, Oreo.
Oreo, his name is Oreo. That's his back of his tail. His head is right here. And watch this. He's got a little fish. Get him. Right now he's kissing it because they like to kiss it before they eat it. Come on.
I guess he's not hungry.
He's not hungry?
I guess not.
What did he normally just? He'll normally just like
He'll hit it.
When did he last eat?
I don't know, 2 or 3 days ago. They don't eat that often.
How big do they get?
He's 2 feet. 2
Yeah,
foot.
I mean, look, he's all the way in that tube. He don't want to eat right now. But... So he'll just come up into the top and get those. If you don't,
No.
you gotta get them. You gotta actually force feed them.
Yeah. But he eats crabs, and there's crabs in there. So he probably, I don't see him anymore. So he probably ate them last night.
The crabs.
Yeah, that's probably why he's full.
Look at that. He's 2 feet long. He's weird looking. Kind of creeps me out. I'm not gonna lie.
My other tank's more pretty though.
Yeah. So that's his eel. Now this is his fish tank. Look at these fish. That's Dora. Remember from that movie? The one I forget. What kind of fish are these, Bean? That's Dora. That's Dora, right?
That's a hippo tang. That's a Goldie Midas, clownfish, 6-line rasp in the back.
That's clownfish.
Wild yellow tang,
The clownfish likes to tell jokes.
foxface tang, blondie naso tang.
And over here, look at these. What are those? What are those? What are those
Coral.
things? Yeah, but
Torches. Those are all torches.
It's pretty badass.
Right now everything's waking up because the lights are just coming on in the morning. So I do my feedings.
There's a lot of upkeep on a fish tank like this, I assume.
It's 300 gallons.
Okay. See, I would like to have a fish tank like this, but I know that nobody in my family
Would upkeep it?
would upkeep it, besides me, and then I would get.
It's a lot of work.
Do you? Does like Katie and does everybody else help you?
No, I do it all myself.
Those things are those like
I like doing
crustaceans
it.
or what are they called?
What?
All those things that are those
Up there?
No, there's things that are.
It's coral. It's live coral. It's actually alive.
That is crazy. And what do these eat? What do you put in here when you feed them? Just like
Coral, I'm feeding it right now. I put trace iodines and
so they.
they absorb from
Oh, they don't even actually eat like actually pellets or anything like regular fish.
these are not. This is just coral. Coral absorbs.
No, I'm talking about these fish. What do they eat?
Oh, they eat pellets. I could feed them some nori, some seaweed. I feed them
Look at this
seaweed.
little weird guy. So Shane had that like blue lobster thing that he spent all that money on, and it died. It shed his skin. Did you ever see what Shane's did? It was really weird.
Yeah, that's what they do.
Yeah, this is where Finding Nemo was actually filmed in this tank. If everybody doesn't know. Dora's right there. She does forget everything. Holy crap. It's like a bag. It is
Seaweed.
Oh, it's seaweed. They're eating seaweed.
It's what they eat that in their natural habitat.
Do they fight?
Nope.
None of these fish fight each other. They all get
They're
along.
very docile and friendly. Yep, they get along very well.
If you put like certain fish in there, they'll eat each other and stuff?
No, I mean, those are all reef fish. So my whole reef tank is a different style of fish.
Not gonna lie, it's. I mean, this is like. I gotta admit, man, he's got a pretty amazing fish tank. Like I never look at fish this close, but since I'm here, I figured I'd video it. Just like these are like live coral
Filter feeders. So
filter feeders.
yeah.
What does that mean?
Coral absorbs like microbacteria in the water column to eat. So
It just absorbs through. But
this-
they're living organisms, right?
yeah,
Like
they're all living. All that is living. All that is alive. It all reacts. It closes up. It can die. It'll turn white. This right here is phytoplankton, like you would find in the ocean.
and what is that? That feeds the
Feeds
coral?
the corals, but aside from that, there's what in the water column. There's little helpful bacteria called copods, and you could look at. You see, like it looks like dust.
Yeah.
That's copods, and those eat and keep your detritus down and your phosphate levels down. They're a good bacteria, and what I did is I fed them. This feeds them.
They just absorb it in.
No, they eat it, but then this also feeds the coral,
Oh.
and this is called nutrition.
So
This right here is going to turn the whole tank green.
So do you have to do this every day?
No, I do it once a week.
Okay. Look at this. This fish is weird. What kind of fish is this?
That's a what is it? Pearly jowl.
It goes down in that hole and it pops out.
Lives. It has a whole entire system that built of
Underneath there?
underneath there. Yeah, a whole burrow.
That's pretty wild.
There's another one around here somewhere.
What is that thing that's
There's two in there.
what is,
That's a blood shrimp. He's a cleaner shrimp, so the fish will come by him and he'll eat like any kind of bacteria off the fish.
that's that thing on Finding Nemo, the one that spins the
Yeah,
and like
and that's a
cleans them up.
leopard rasp.
What?
The leopard rasp.
Okay.
See, it's leopard.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And if you really want,
Pretty wild.
if you really want to get a good view, put this over your camera.
It's almost amazing that like what's going on in here.
Put this over your camera.
All right.
No, the lens like this. Now look at it.
Oh, yeah, now we're talking. So these are all just coral fish. That's what
Reef fish.
Reef fish. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing to watch. You know, you don't think about these things, like, you know, like how much goes on in this, I don't know, what is it, an ecosystem? Or,
Yeah, I created an entire, basically an ecosystem with that. So
that's pretty amazing.
it's definitely.
Now, did you have to buy all those things that are on the reef?
Yeah, I had to buy everything.
And what do? You stick them on there?
Yeah, you glue them actually, super glue.
You super glue them right to the...
To the rocks. Yep.
How much does like one of those things cost?
Point one out.
Like, all right, so let's say the one, like say like that one.
The double-headed right
Yeah.
there. Like 300.
$300?
Yeah, $150 a head.
Holy crap.
That's a joker torch. They call it a joker torch because it's black and it's got actually like purple head or like pink heads on it.
I mean, so all of these different things, they all cost similar to that amount. So I mean,
Yeah, well,
You got
give
it.
or take. And this is some of the stuff is called designer coral, which is made by it's harvested from a guy in Indonesia called Jason Fox.
Okay.
He actually cultivates it in his basement up north in like you can YouTube him. It's amazing. And so that's called a mummy's eye. Down at the bottom, that's one of his.
Oh, the thing down there in that corner?
Yeah, he names his stuff.
So what is that?
It's a. Just lost my train of thought on it. A chalice.
A chalice?
Yeah, and then.
But that's man-made. That's not.
No, this is all.
Oh,
live
that's
in
actually
nature.
so. Okay, so that's
It
stuff.
grows. That'll grow. That right over there. That's a Miami Vice.
Holy crap, that's unbelievable.
That one over there. I forgot the name of it. That one, it's also a Jason Fox. That right there is a. It's called a jawbreaker mushroom. It actually, as it continues to grow, it'll start getting different colors, like a jawbreaker.
Yeah.
It'll start changing colors.
That's pretty.
You got chalice plates. That red will actually start to plate out. It'll actually start to grow out.
So that'll grow and expand.
Yeah, it'll like level out. Like
And what is this in the back? That looks like a
star polyp? It grows. It'll eventually grow along the whole top of the wall. It'll.
How's it gotten bigger since you put it in there?
Yeah. It'll attach itself, start growing. And then these down here are. That's actually a different. That's not a torch. That right there is a hammer coral.
Okay.
And then like up there it's called a Bill Murray. It's actually a designer coral. And it's called a Bill Murray.
That's the one that sticks up like a middle,
Yeah.
let's say middle finger.
That's called bubblegum digi, which is in the back.
Yeah, that's cool.
The yellow, the pink. Bubblegum.
Does that get bigger?
Digi.
They all get bigger?
stag out. See the white on them? That's new growth.
Oh,
See
yeah.
the white tips? That's all new growth.
Yeah, you can see it on the edges of each thing. That white. That means they're growing.
And if you zoom up into the polyp, you can actually see the polyps moving in that one over there.
Right there.
Yeah, you can actually see the polyps move. They're they're eating what's in the water column.
The stuff that you just put in there, they're absorbing it.
Yeah, they're taking it in.
It's mind blowing.
So you can see this one. This one's a fragged. I fragged that one and moved a piece over there so I could get two pieces going.
So you broke a piece off and then
I cut
just super
it.
glued it over there?
Yeah.
And it doesn't affect it?
No, it's like planting a tree.
That's.
It's a slow process though. Slow.
I can see how this could become like something that, like, you become obsessed with or passionate about because there's so much going on that most people don't even think about.
Well, what it is like you have your own little piece of ocean in your house.
Yeah.
And it's like you start to, I enjoy taking care of all this stuff every Saturday. To me, it's not a chore.
It's like
to me, it's enjoyable.
Yeah, it's like almost like therapy.
And then when I sit back and I watch them, and it's calming.
Yeah.
And they have all the fish have different personalities, and it's fun.
So
to see
some are
stuff.
more aggressive, probably. Some are probably more, passive.
And everybody has a role. These tangs, what they do is they'll pick algae off of any of the rocks.
Okay.
These clownfish, they're called designer clowns. All they do is just float around. They're probably the most useless ones in the tank. They don't do much. That rasp, you could see him. He's picking.
Yeah.
What he does is he looks for like little microorganisms and bad stuff in the reef that might create issues.
Basically, he's cleaning it.
Yeah, he keeps it clean. So what he does is he goes around and keeps it clean. The shrimp underneath there, he keeps the fish clean. The fish come in there, he see right there, he set up what's called a cleaning station. So when a fish comes in there, he'll attach to the fish and start eating any parasites off the fish that he might have.
What do the fish do when he attaches them? Because
They go in there for that. They know they have a symbiotic relationship.
Really?
Yeah, they know. They know that
Yeah.
he's there to help them. This one right here, that's called a cleaner rasp. What he does is if any of the fish start getting ick or sick, he'll actually start going right into the fish and start pecking them off.
Are you serious?
And eating it. Yep.
So he
cleans the fish.
So it's almost like
Everybody takes care of something in here, except
Yeah.
for the clowns.
They just
They just do their clown thing. That's what they do.
they just float around.
That's called that one right there. That's a hawkeye.
Oh yeah, it looks like almost like a.
He just sits there. He perches up. He just sits. He's cool. He's got a really good personality.
That's,
This right here. This is a anthias, a pink anthias.
what does he do?
Eats a lot.
He just eats.
He eats a lot.
Kind of like a clownfish. He just.
Yeah, he's more for show.
Yeah.
He's just pretty. The Goldie Midas up there, there's an algae picker.
Yeah.
He's gold. He'll actually hang out in the rocks and stuff.
So and
This guy right here, he goes through. It's a sand sifting goby. He literally goes through each sand, and it comes out as you can see it coming out his gills.
Yeah.
The sand comes out his gills, and he filters. He eats. He gets all the food, any food or anything, bacteria in it or particles in it, and then he filters out all the sand. So he keeps the sand bed looking white.
That's amazing. I never ever thought in a million years.
This right here is a tuxedo. That's called a tuxedo.
But
yeah.
Right there.
Yeah.
And what does that do?
He eats. He'll go around and he'll eat algae, detritus, and like what he does is they collect like shells.
Wait, man, you're
all
talking about
around-
that
yeah.
circular thing?
Yeah, that's alive.
Oh, so he moves?
Yeah, it moves all around the tank.
Yeah, I thought that was just like one of the other.
Nope, no, he moves. He moves all around the tank, and he'll collect shells on his actual. That's why they call him a tuxedo, because he has like the blue.
So like if there were certain fish that weren't in here, like that, the ones that like the certain things that do the cleaning, or the ones that basically the ones that
everything in here makes this.
So you take one out of the habitat, and one job is going to be left undone.
Well, it could affect. You're not going to have as good of a complete reef tank, and then even get down to like that's a lawnmower Benny right there.
Yeah.
In the back there, he's sitting perched up on the rock. He just kind of chills. He's in right there.
Yeah. Oh
See him
yeah,
up there?
yeah.
He just perches on the rock. What he does is he eats algae too. He goes around and eats algae.
So when you buy a fish tank like this, do they tell you like these are all the fish that are needed for this type of ecosystem,
It's
or this
completely
type
up
of?
to you, and you do your research and you find what best suits you and what you can deal with and what you can handle.
Yeah.
And you talking to your local fish store will tell you like what's the best.
How often do like some of these die and that you have to replace them, or?
I mean, in the beginning, this is not a fast hobby, so like you have to like
Get better at
start
it.
slow, and that's my biggest problem is I didn't start slow, so I lost a lot. I lost a lot of coral, but now my water's over a year old, like so it's very.
So the longer
mature.
the water sets and matures,
It turns mature.
Yeah.
The good bacteria goes in. It creates bacteria.
so it's a better environment for all the fish to
everybody.
thrive.
So lately, I haven't, knock on wood, had any issues. But because a lot of my fish are from the wild,
Yeah.
like that yellow tang and that blue tang, the hippo tang, they're from the wild. When they get sick with ick, it's called, they fight it off because they have to fight it off in nature.
Yeah.
So they're pretty resilient when it comes to that. Same with the blondie naso. These tangs are prone. This is called a sailfish tang. Watch. He shoots his fins up. But
What's this one?
that right there is a leopard.
Okay.
And that's a yellow tang.
Like, do any of these fish get
That's
along?
a fox face because you can tell by the
Yeah,
face.
the fox. Yeah, it looks like a fox face. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Do any of the fish get along better than the other ones? Like, do you see
Tangs get along with tangs,
Okay.
but you can't have like I can't have. You typically can't introduce one fish because then the other ones will tend to want to like
Gang up on
they
it or
can
whatnot.
they can get aggressive too.
So when you do it, you got to put them in pairs.
I put them I'll either do them in pairs or I'll introduce them at night. I introduce them at night, and then because everybody goes to sleep.
Yeah.
The fish literally do go to sleep. That big hippo sleeps in that hole every single night.
And when they sleep, they just kind of float there.
They just sit there and their eyes are open, but they're sleeping. All the fish, and they change colors at night.
That's amazing, dude.
They literally change colors. And
I wish I could. Like, I would like to have. I mean,
it's the best hobby I've ever had for
It's
the way
intriguing.
of calming.
Yeah.
And like.
It is. It does have a calming effect.
And like even when I'm doing my maintenance, it's calming.
Yeah. It doesn't feel like a chore.
It doesn't feel like a chore at all because I like to watch stuff grow.
Yeah.
And I like to see it.
Yeah.
And it's not a lot for me to have to keep, but I mean, cost wise, it's not for the weak.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you want a good environment.
Yeah.
And the bigger you go, the more expensive it gets.
Yeah.
But you can get like a little nano tank, all in one, like I got over there with the snowflake eel, and you can grow coral, and you can have a couple fish in there, and you can do all that, and it would be very easy to keep track of.
But it's not. This is definitely not a cheap
This is not
hobby.
No.
This is something you have. Yeah, you have to be
Coral
able to.
is not cheap in general, and there's no guarantees on coral. That's the problem. Coral
Yeah.
can die for no apparent reason.
So you might spend $200 to $300 on one of these,
You could spend up to $1,500 sometimes on some,
and they might not take.
and it just dies.
What is the white stuff on that thing?
Where?
That thing right there, like the white tips, so they almost look like flowers.
Oh, those are they're called neon candy canes.
That's pretty cool looking. And then you can see how all that some of that stuff is starting to build.
Yeah, it comes out,
And that's gonna go over everywhere.
it'll eventually grow up that rock up there, which
Yeah.
is what I want. I want it to cover that rock up there.
Yeah. I mean, realistically, when you really actually look, because I never looked that close. It's beautiful the way it all starts to intertwine and the way the stuff grows.
It's just
It's almost unreal.
I mean, and it feels like
it's-
everybody has a role. Like, see these snails? These are turbo snails. They go around, they eat algae that builds
Yeah.
up on the glass. These guys up here, they eat the algae. The
there's some over here.
tuxedo sea urchins, like that guy. He goes through and he eats the algae that's on the rocks, detritus that's on the rocks. And look at this one. See that one? He's grabbed everything on him. See that? That's a tuxedo with all that stuff on him.
Yeah.
That's another one of those tuxedos. See how he literally went around the tank and just collected rocks.
You talking about the
shells.
white one or the dark one?
That right there.
The circular one.
Yeah, right behind it.
Yeah.
That's actually attached to it. That's all stuff that thing grabbed onto.
Holy. Oh,
That tuxedo. That's a tuxedo sea urchin.
Oh,
He grabbed all that stuff
disgusting.
around the tank.
So that white stuff?
That right there that's a mushroom. Right above it,
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah.
And you look over right there, right in there is a tuxedo sea urchin, and he literally attached himself.
I see.
To like 6 or 7 rocks and shells.
That's crazy, man.
They have
Wow.
such great person, and then you got like this. Like, look at this crab down here. See him filter feeding down there
Yeah.
underneath the rock, right there. He's waving the stuff in.
Yeah.
You see him right there?
Yep. Oh yeah, he's moving right there. So he's just waving in
He
this
grabs
stuff
from the water column.
Yeah. It's hard to see him on there, but yeah, I can see him. Yeah, he's just. Oh yeah, you can see him moving his little arms and whatnot.
Yep. And then these are right. No, you can't see them. There's gobies, watchman gobies underneath there.
Yeah.
And there's a pistol shrimp.
Okay.
So there's a pistol shrimp and a goby. And what the pistol shrimp is, the pistol shrimp lives under here, and it will push out stuff. It'll push out all sand. It'll make holes for it. And then the watchman goby, but the pistol shrimp are blind. The watchman goby will use the holes as protection from the pistol shrimp and be the eyes for the pistol shrimp.
Really?
So they'll bring food to the pistol shrimp, and the pistol shrimp in return builds them a house underneath the rocks.
It's freaking mind-boggling, dude.
And you want to hear something even crazier? If I take a watchman goby, drop it in this side of the tank, and take a pistol shrimp and chop it over there, within one night, they'll find each other. And they're
even though they're on the opposite sides.
and their symbiotic relationship, they have such a relationship to bonding together that they'll find naturally they'll find each other and create their.
So one will build the house,
And the other one feeds them and protects them.
Holy crap!
And the other thing about the pistol shrimp is, at night you hear a popping noise. Pop, pop. They pop their claws. That's how the gobies find them.
So that's how they communicate.
That's how they know where they're at, and
Oh.
they find them. And they pop, and when they pop their claws, it's a split second of intensity, as hot as the sun.
Really?
Yeah,
So,
but it's like it's like less than a millisecond, like of burst.
it's amazing that life, whether the communication and the way things work together in unison, no matter what ecosystem or what whatever living environment, that it works together and everybody has a purpose. Like some are like the
Everybody
doctors.
has a job.
Some are like the doctors. They're cleaning
Yep.
the other fish. They're doing things to make sure that people, the other fish don't get sick. It's just amazing.
And like the crabs and stuff like that, and the hermit crabs, and they clean the coral, and they have a relationship with the coral. Like, see all the snails up there? They're eating.
Yeah.
They're keeping the coral clean.
Well, listen, guys, I just learned a lot about this coral reef
Hobby.
fish hobby. I hope you guys did as well. All right, thanks.